Section 1. The Invisible Partner. Picture this. You spend 30 years grinding. You skip the expensive vacations your friends are taking to Cancun. You drive that beat-up sedan 5 years longer than you should. You work weekends. You stress. You sacrifice. And finally, you cross the finish line. Your portfolio hits $2 million. Retirement isn't just a dream anymore. It's real. Then, knock knock. At your door stands a man in a perfectly tailored suit. He smiles politely and says, "Congratulations. I'm your business partner." You're confused. You've never met him. He never worked those late nights with you. He never panicked when the market crashed in 2020. He never risked a single dime of his own savings. Yet he looks you in the eye and calmly says, "I'll be taking $500,000. Immediately. This isn't a scam. And this isn't a bad dream. This is tax reality. That man in the suit is the IRS. Most people spend their entire lives obsessing over making money, but they almost never think about keeping it. And without a strategy, taxes quietly become the largest expense of your life. Bigger than your mortgage. Bigger than your food bill. Bigger than healthcare. Without a plan, you don't work 5 days a week for yourself. You work Monday through Thursday for you, and all day Friday for the government. Today, we fire that invisible partner. Welcome to Financial Stud, where smart money moves meet unstoppable success. Get ready to master your finances and unlock your true earning potential. Let's get to work. Section 2. The two paths of pain. Before we can fix the problem, we have to look at the wound. There are two silent killers that most average investors walk straight into. Killer number 1, the capital gains trap. This one feels harmless at first. Let's say you make a smart move. You buy a tech stock at $10. A few years later, you sell it at $50. You're celebrating a $40 profit, right? Wrong. The government sees that $40 profit as their income too. If you held that stock for less than a year, they tax it just like your salary up to 37% if you're a high earner. Even if you held it longer, they still want their cut, usually 15% or 20%. Imagine ordering a pizza. You pay for it. You wait for it. But before you can take a bite, a stranger walks up, grabs 2 slices, eats them in front of you, and walks away. That is capital gains tax. And it happens every time you sell. Then there is killer number 2, the dividend drag. Dividends are the holy grail of passive income. Money while you sleep. But in a standard brokerage account, dividends are a tax nightmare. Every time a company pays you, the IRS taxes you. Even if you don't spend the money. Even if you immediately reinvest it to buy more shares. You are being taxed on growth that you haven't even used yet. Now, multiply that drag over 30 years. A portfolio earning 7% before tax might only earn 5% after tax. That tiny 2% gap? Over a lifetime, that is the difference between retiring on a yacht and retiring on a budget. It destroys the magic of compound interest. So, are you trapped? No, because the government ironically left a legal backdoor open. Section 3. The miracle of the Roth. If there is one account every financial stud must understand, it's this one, the Roth IRA. Let's simplify everything, because the finance industry loves to make this complicated. Think of a traditional 401k or IRA like farming. In a traditional account, the government gives you a tax break on the seed. You don't pay taxes on the money you plant today. But when that seed grows into a massive harvest 30 years from now, the government owns a percentage of the entire crop. They tax every single ear of corn you pick. The Roth IRA flips the script. With a Roth, you pay taxes on the seed, the small amount of money you put in today. You pay the tax now, get it over with. But then, the government steps aside. Forever. Your money grows? Tax-free. Dividends? Tax-free. Capital gains? Tax-free. And when you withdraw that massive harvest in retirement, $0 in taxes. Let's look at a real example. Let's say you invest $7,000 this year into a Roth IRA. Let's assume a standard 7% return over 30 years. That $7,000 grows into roughly $70,000. If that money was in a traditional account, the government would demand their cut of that $70,000. Depending on future tax rates, they could take $15,000 or $20,000 of your growth. But in a Roth, you keep every penny. Now, imagine doing that every single year. We aren't talking about saving pennies. We are talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars staying in your pocket, simply because you chose the right account type. This is not tax evasion. This is tax elimination. Section 4. The rules of engagement. Of course, a deal this good comes with rules. And for 2025, you need to know them. First, the limits. You can't just dump $1 million in here. The contribution limit is $7,000 per year. If you are age 50 or older, you get a catch-up bonus, bringing it to $8,000. Second, the velvet rope. The Roth IRA isn't for everyone. There is an income limit. If you are single and make over $150,000, or married making over $236,000, you are technically barred from the front door. Side note, there is a backdoor Roth strategy for high earners, but we'll cover that in a future deep dive. But here is the secret weapon of the Roth IRA that almost nobody talks about. Flexibility. Most people are scared to lock up their money until they are 59 and a half. They think, what if I need that cash for an emergency? Here is the superpower. You can withdraw your contributions at any time, penalty-free. Notice I said contributions, not earnings. If you put in $20,000 over 3 years, you can take that $20,000 back out tomorrow if life hits you hard. No penalties, no taxes. It effectively doubles as your backup emergency fund. That is true financial freedom. Section 5. Building the fortress. But a financial stud doesn't rely on just one trick. We build systems. We build fortresses. Think of your wealth in layers. Layer 1 is the Roth IRA. That is your long-term, tax-free growth engine. Layer 2 is the employer match. If your job offers a 401k match, you take it. That is literally free money, a 100% return on day one. Layer 3 is the HSA health savings account. If you qualify, this is the stealth bomber of retirement accounts. Tax-free in, tax-free growth, tax-free out for medical expenses. When you stack these layers, you aren't just saving. You are building a shield that the IRS cannot penetrate. Section 6. The exit. I want to leave you with a hard truth today. I see too many people who are rich on paper, but poor in life. They hoard money out of fear. They delay joy. They work until they drop. That isn't wealth. That's a prison. The goal of this channel, the goal of being a financial stud, isn't just to see a high score on a banking app. It's freedom. It's the ability to wake up on a Tuesday morning and say, I don't have to go to work today if I don't want to. By killing your tax bill, you hit that freedom number years earlier. You stop working for the government, and you start living for yourself. You now understand more about taxes than 90% of the population. But remember, knowledge without action is just trivia. Tonight, not someday, I want you to open that Roth IRA. Even if you only put in $50 to start. Just start the clock. If this video gave you a new perspective, do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Share with your friends who really needs to know this. We are building a community of people who refuse to be average. Drop a comment below saying my Roth is open so I know you're taking action. I'm Financial Stud. Let's keep building. Thanks for watching. Stay curious.